Welcome everyone to another video, this time to introduce my Brute. But look at this one, archaic remnant of a weak tribe of albino brutes pushing his deck. Barely has the skills to fight for food or even defend himself. What's he wearing? What is that? Cheetah coat? Oh, does not even have the skills or the strength to take on a brawn hide. Too dim to have even invented the wheel. This tribe should have been lost. Barely has the intelligence to live anywhere other than rocks and caves. Probably the reason why they're still alive. Look at his hair, flicks it. Look at it, well maintained and never seen combat. Digging around dead corpses. Listen to his video. You'll see he plays cadaverous contraband. Why? Because the dead don't fight back? Oh, even better than all this. Even better. Guess what? His name Yazi. Yazi. Do you know what that means? Do you know what Yazi means in the dialect of the northern regions of the Savage Lands? It means toilet. Toilet. Yes. Oh, makes me cry. Anyway, here is Andy with a deck you want to play to hit top 8. Okay, g'day everyone. We're going to look at the Rhinar list that I took to various skirmishes. Now this one was a consistent top 8 cut. And it is pretty consistent, and there's a few reasons why. This list was taken off, initially the original list I looked at Lee Fletcher's list, who also I'm not sure where he got his from, but it was topping various events. I took that list, tried it a few times and made some changes, and in the most recent skirmishes, I was able to take this to top 8. So I wanted to share the list and go through it. Now the equipment's very much the same that you'll find in the other lists. I did play around with running Skullhorn instead of Arcanite Skullcap in the main lists to just discard a card, but you're really going to sit with Arcanite Skullcap. You're okay to take 1 damage, so then Arcanite Skullcap comes online. You want to get the full effect from that, and mainly because you're going to be doing a lot of damage and you're hoping that your life total won't be less than theirs. So if they go first and they do some type of attack, it's alright to take 1 damage. You know, if they, like, let's imagine an Ira play where they come through for a Kadashi and then that second Kadashi does 2. You might block the first one with Barkbone Strapping and take the 2 just to put the Arcanite Skullcap online for their 3rd attack, along with your Scabskin Leathers blocking for 4. You might even want to block for 5 on the 3rd attack and let the first 2 through. It's up to you how you do it. This was a constant theme for how I was playing it, and I took some early damage just to bring the Arcanite Skullcap online because I didn't want to just use it for the 1 defense. I wanted to get the 2 out of it, and then it blocks for 1 for the second if you're lower life. So yeah, that's just a quick rundown of that one. Let's get on to the rest of the list because that's what's important. Now you'll see that the list is very much the same if you were to compare various lists from skirmishes, except for Yazi's one. So no doubt Yazi actually beat this list initially when I was playing it early on, and we got to get some games on, Yazi, because I want to test this list against your one with the Cadaverous and so forth. Alright, anyway, Alpha Rampage, we've got the 2, we've got all the barraging beatdowns, we've got 2 Command and Conquers to really mess with their arsenal. It is a 6 attack, so it also works for discarding for Rhinar's ability for getting the Intimidate. Okay, so it's perfect in this deck. You got Massacre, one of the most amazing cards to come out of the Cruise set for Brute. You discard this as part of the costs of playing a Brute attack, and this gets pretty much Intimidate, plus it's an Intimidate itself with Rhinar, so you're getting 2 cards out of their hand. It's magnificent. Pack Hunt, Huge card in this deck as well. When you don't want to be discarding the cards, Pack Hunt comes through. You might play 2 Barraging Beatdowns and a Pack Hunt. Fantastic, has its own Intimidate, doesn't force you to discard a card. So you can potentially play your whole hand with 2 Barraging Beatdowns, pitch 2 cost for energy, and play your Pack Hunt. Yeah. Alright, Savage Feast, the reds were in there from the start. Now the blue is an addition. I was 2 cards from deciding what I need to put in. Savage Feast blue was one of them, just to get the blue count up to help me out. Blood Rush Bellow, nothing more really needs to be said. If you get those 2 turns with Blood Rush Bellow, you're doing a lot of attacks. Barraging Bighorn in with a yellow and a 6. We don't need to be playing the red because we need resources, yeah? This thing is flooded with yellow resources to help the claws, to help a lot of the other attacks. When you're getting into your 3 attacks, you're really looking for those blues. You don't want to be spending 2 cards to pay for that, and that's where something like your Barkbone Strapping comes into effect. So make sure you get the block on Barkbone Strapping early on, because you might need to use this early on as well, especially if you get that killer hand and you need 1 extra resource, because most things are yellows, they need 2s. But if you want to be playing your Alpha Rampage and you've got a Massacre in hand as well to pitch with that, you might be doing Barraging Beatdown, Alpha Rampage, paying with one of these yellows or maybe even a blue down below, and discarding the Massacre as part of the cost for Alpha Rampage. You've got 3 cards. Is that 3 cards? It's 1, 2, 3, and 4 if you've played the Barraging Beatdown. So yeah, it's getting through. Pretty good attack. Alright, Barraging Bronhide. I put that in there mainly due to the 6 attack. It is one of the cards that only blocks for 2, so it's a really hard decision, but I wanted the 2 cost in there rather than going for a red. Alright. Beast Within, pretty dangerous card. Even lost games due to Beast Within, but you just got to be careful with it. The great thing about it is that if you are discarding to pay the cost of a Brute attack, you get to draw again. Now you could be losing quite a bit of life if you're not hitting the attacks, or if you cycle through a Blood Rush Bellow or any of the other Barraging Beatdowns, and that's just bad luck, yeah? It is very random with Rhino at times. Smash Instinct, look, this card is mainly resource for me. At the 3 costs, it's too prohibitive to play to only give you an Intimidate and a 6 attack. So most times I may have played Smash Instinct once out of all the games I've played. When I get this in my hand, especially when I get it with Riled Up and maybe Raging Onslaught, I'm in trouble, yeah? I'm usually pitching one out to attack with a claw, but I'll go through playstyle in a sec. So Smash Instinct, not really one I want to see in my hand too often unless it's to pitch for energy or I'm just blocking with it. Alright, Wrecker Romp, a fantastic card. Even at blue it comes in at a 6. You're attacking at 7 attack with the yellow Wrecker Romp. Great for use on energy or just when you need to get that big attack through. Rolled Up, never play it. Oh, sorry, played it once. Got the +1. It was nice, but the 3 cost is prohibitive for the 6 to 7 attack. You know, you can get that with Wrecker Romp at a 2 cost. Raging Onslaught also in there as a generic action card. If you're desperate, you'll play it. Otherwise, pitch it for energy or pitch it as part of the cost of a Brute attack. You'll notice that all these are 6s, yeah? Savage Swing, you know, it's great. It's a 1 cost and you're getting your 3 defense and a 6 attack. It's great. You discard a random card to get the Intimidate. Pretty good. Breakneck Battery. Now, this was one of the other cards that I put in there for myself to... I was really lost. I didn't want to be putting potions. A lot of these lists are running potions, and I find that a lot of those lists get into trouble. I've seen it with the players right at the end where they're sitting with a potion and they're needing to block and they lose the game because of it. I didn't want to take that to chance in those skirmishes. I needed to crack the top 8 just to prove myself. So Breakneck Battery was a good solution. I thought a lot about this. Yeah, it's only 4 attack. But if you discard a card of 6 or more, it gains Go Again. Therefore, your claws can attack after it. They've got Go Again as well because you've discarded a 6 attack card with this. It worked well with the deck. I mainly only want to use it for its resources, yeah? Reckless Swing really puts the opponent on a clock because 4 of their life is gone already, yeah? So they don't start on 20, they start on 16, and they've got to have that mentality that they've got only 16 life to play around with because I've got Reckless Swings and I'm going to defend with them, taking 2 off their life. I am going to be discarding 6s when that happens. It is bad when you end up with 2 Reckless Swings in hand and you're taking that 50% chance that you play one and they're going to discard a card out of your hand. It's pretty bad. Sand Sketched Plan. This is mainly used for resources. I'm still at a loss at times to figure out what I'm searching with that. Most times I was searching out a blue Wreck-A-Romp to fuel my next attack that was going to be coming through, only for the opponent to select Wreck-A-Romp out of my hand, and then I was stuck with where I began with. It did give the Intimidate ability after discarding, which was something, but mainly used for resources, okay? So you really are looking to set up your turns of an Alpha Rampage or any of the other attacks with a Massacre. You don't want to be putting Massacre in Arsenal if you can help it, unless you're wanting to play Massacre as part of maybe a second action. Early on, I was rolling the Scab Skin Leathers, trying not to re-roll the result. If I got no action, I would Arsenal and pass. But especially if I'm sitting on dead hands, right? So smash in. There we go. So if I'm sitting with these in hand, I'm rolling Scab Skin Leathers and I'm trying to get 2 actions, yeah? At which point I can throw down 1 for a claw and then another 1 for a claw, Arsenal a 3rd card, pick up 3 cards. I need to be cycling through. I am looking for my Barraging Beatdowns, my Alpha Rampages, my Massacres, Pack Hunts, Blood Rush Bellows, and your Savage Swings, okay? These are the attacks that you're looking for. If you're desperate and you need to be defending and you're trying to get rid of cards, maybe you're looking for the Reckless Swing to get 1 in Arsenal, 1 in hand, yeah? It's the best situation that you can find for that as well. Beast Within, look, you can play that strategically when you need to pick up another card and keep going with an attack. Barraging Bighorn, also giving the go again if it's not blocked by 2 non-equipment cards. Works really well with Barraging Beatdown, but if you leave them with a card in hand, 1 in Arsenal, very much you're going to find that they're going to be playing 2 cards, the Arsenal being the defense reaction. Found that a lot. Blood Rush Bellow, fantastic. You do need the energy. There's many times that I've gone in, only pitched a 2, one of which plays for Blood Rush Bellows, to pick up your 2 other cards, and then you're trying to get the claws to function, maybe even a 3rd attack. So you really want to be, if you can pitch a blue with Blood Rush Bellow, you get the claws for free on that next one. You've got Go Again, and hopefully the 2 cards you picked up are more than just a yellow and a yellow. Maybe you got a blue and a yellow, which might fuel another claw and then another type of attack. You know, if you're lucky enough, you'll have another Pack Hunt. Make sure you're playing the claws first with the Go Again, because Pack Hunt does not give you your Go Again unless you've got extra actions happening from your Scab Skin Leathers. And what else do we have? My hardest matchup was Kano, alright? You're going without a fair bit of equipment. Skullhorn is in there, and I was most likely swapping out the Scab Skin Leathers with Snapdragon Scalers, hoping to get my 1 attacks off, just so I could continue on. So, you know, Savage Swing and then continuing with that. Otherwise, as you can see with the Nylrune equipment, now let's take a look. I did make the mistake with one of the skirmishes after top cut of not putting in Nylrune and almost took the game out, but yeah, I just needed the Nylrune protection. So, like against Wizard, it is a tough one, and the fact is, every other hero, you can wipe their hand out and attack them freely. I know they've got their full hand on the next attack, and that's the biggest problem with Brute. It's part of what my whole Brute You're Bad video is all about. Even though I'm proving this a little bit incorrect with playing it as is. But there were times where I would only get 2 cards out of their hand, just so they were forced to defend with the other two. I didn't mind that because I was taking the gamble that they needed those 2 cards to play their next turn rather than taking all the cards out of their hand, depending on what I wanted to do during the games. Going back to Kano though, let's just see how many of the attacks that are 1 cost that were in there that I was relying on. Now we've got Savage Swing in there. I thought I had another one. It's really surprising. So maybe Snapdragon Scalers wasn't the best example. Maybe I should have taken a Scab Skin Leathers or even a Barkbone Strapping against Kano just to get the extra resources for protection. Actually, when I really think about it, Barkbone Strapping is the way to go against Kano. Kano is the only character that when I go to get rid of their hand to come through and attack, they're starting to attack me, which may affect the cards in my hand, especially seeing how close it is. With Kano, you don't want to get below 12 life. Do whatever you can to stay above 12, yeah? 12 and lower, you're really in a dangerous position where they can take you out and there's not really much you can do about it. You need to be above 12 against Kano. It's your hardest matchup with Brute. I really haven't found the rest too hard. Even Ira is not that hard when you've got Brute. Reasons why I lost: very good players. For one, that's going to be the one thing. Secondly, I may have come through with a big attack, not enough to kill them, but trying to get that second attack, trying to find your barraging beatdowns, it was hard. Where you cannot take on some of the best players in this game without finding your barraging beatdowns and your blood rush bellows. You just can't. You're at a disadvantage in there. So like in the last skirmish, I was against Butcher, Nick Butcher. Fantastic player, one of the best out there. I hit him for 11, put him on 9, and then for the rest of the game I was really struggling to take out any more life. It was Life for a Life and Sigil of Solace, I believe he ran in his deck, and he was gaining life, but I could not take any other life off him. It was unbelievable. Without those barraging beatdowns, he was just blocking everything and then coming through with his 2-card attacks. Could not find the reckless swings where it mattered, and it really wouldn't have mattered. It was on too much life. So yeah, you can beat the best players in this game, and as Lucas said, doesn't matter how good you are, if you ain't got the cards in your hand to defend against with, and those attacks are coming through, there's not really much you can do at all. So yeah, it really relies on you finding those barraging beatdowns, unless you can take the opponent out in one go. Now, funnily enough, I took on the Tasmanian boys with, I replaced Rhino with KO. And really, you've got to build a deck around KO. You just can't replace KO with Rhino. Out of the best of 3, I did take it out. Just some lucky rolls, doubling damage at 21 damage. However, yeah, for consistency, you've got to understand this is all about consistency. This deck was amazing, okay? Thank you for the time you spent with me today. Hope that really helps some people out in playing some skirmish games and looking at Brute. If there's any other questions or any other ideas, throw them down in the details below. Have a great day all. See ya.
Yazi! It means toilet!